Welcome back to the news review segment of the Power Breakfast Show. In my panel this morning, I have Senator for Makueni, Mheshimiwa Mutula Kilonzo Jr. I have Bwana Eric Kiraithe, government spokesman. Should I call you Mheshimiwa Eric Kiraithe?
No, I'm just Eric. Very simple.
The bag has never beaten?
It can't. Not when you are a policeman utumishi kwa wote and then a civil servant. When you are Mheshimiwa with a few people running by you and clapping for you all the time, you can afford it.
Of course, I have here Deputy Governor Murang'a County, Bwana Gakure Monyo, and Mheshimiwa Chilo Ayako, aspirant Migori gubernatorial seat. Earlier on, we were looking at the situation as it was a country, disaster preparedness and disaster management in view or in light of the mushrooming of anthrax in parts of central Kenya, the issue of dengue fever at the coast, the issue of floods at the coast, floods in western Kenya. And now we have another, what I would call a disaster, the food situation in the country. As we speak, about 330,000 is it tons or Bwana Kiraithe will tell us of maize was supposed to land in Mombasa from Mexico to help mitigate the current food situation we have. Millers are saying that's not enough, and they're actually saying the price of maize flour will not come down anytime sooner than the next 2 months. Bwana Kiraithe is quoted in parts of the newspapers today as I think it's page 2 of the Nation and page 6 of the Standard as saying that everything is in control. Is it really in control?
Well, the only thing which is not in control is prices. Before we close on floods, I would want to give a very brief statement, because we have the governors here and the politicians. One of the problems which aggravated, there was a lot of rain, the floods in Mombasa, is opening of drainage. I challenge you to send a reporter later today around Nairobi and look at our drainages. There was issue of building along waterways, then total absence of drainage where they naturally should be, so that the water is pouring onto the roads, and poorly designed one. I think, whereas we talked about the law and more budget and all that, those are things, Governor, within our reach, and these are things we urge counties to concentrate on and ensure that they are done, even as we continue to campaign.
Thank you.
Coming back on food, what I would want to say, and these are statements of fact, is that for the whole Eastern Africa and Southern African region, for the last 2 years, we have not received enough rain. What we could have done with the rain we received the previous 5 years, notwithstanding, we have not received enough rain. So, whereas we usually get grains even from Ethiopia, from Tanzania, from the near countries of Malawi and so on, our local simple business people from Uganda, Rwanda, and the surrounding areas, we are not able to do that now. And therefore, the government set an interministerial task force way back, including donors. I think I have brought them to press conferences often enough, way back in August last year. We have been monitoring the situation, and to our credit, that is why there have been very, very minimal deaths in Kenya. But as we have been going,
there have been deaths.
A few of them at the onset were reported, I think about 3 or 4. And let me tell you that you go to WHO, you go to UNDP here, our case of managing this drought is being sold out even in the region as the best practice. So the government has really tried this time round, and that one has been acknowledged by others in the European Union other than ourselves.
But the person who should really, just a minute, Eric, the person who should really appreciate this, have they appreciated this? And that is the common Kenyan. The
common Kenyan maybe can appreciate with more information on what has been done, but the minute the price of unga goes to an 80 shillings, even if they wanted to appreciate, how do you appreciate when now you are threatened with hunger? And therefore, the government earlier in the year, because whereas the maize is what is being seen very loudly, especially for the smaller children and so on, milk has also been scarce and the price has gone up. Sugar, which is used in very many traditionally in very many households in Kenya, and also for production of other things had gone down. So the government started measures way back in January, removing the taxes and allowing importation. The last thing we wanted to do was because we have maize farmers in Kenya who are also very vulnerable, and the key focus of the government is local production, is that the government has been monitoring. That is why barely 2 weeks after the uproar on the price, 30,000 metric tons have landed in the port of Mombasa. And
which the millers are saying is not
because
enough.
I don't totally agree. It's not enough, because those people who have been licensed are actually the Ministry of Agriculture. Treasury is keeping tabs on them, monitoring to see whether when you are licensed, you are utilizing that license so that it can be given to another deserving person, so that we source for these commodities, especially maize, from wherever they are globally at a price that is affordable to Kenya. So we expect that in the next weeks and months, within 60 days, enough of it will have been imported to bring down the price. What I don't agree with the millers is that it will take 60 days. The last week, the ministry from our own national strategic grain reserves released 750,000 bags, and I don't think the way the process from the National Cereals and Produce Board stall through the production, economics of the mailer, it should take that long to impact on the market. One clarification I would want to make,
just a quick one, so
as
that
we
the other
move forward,
is
that those complaining are those people who can afford, and the priority in terms of priority grain reserves is especially those areas where cattle have died, water is scarce, and in those areas where the situation can get real desperate, the government has scored an A. But in the management of the prices, we are still a little bit to go. I would want to inform that there is an interministerial task force now led by the Treasury, and with a lot of experts even from the Ministry of Agriculture, which is working, and it will be able to give fairly accurate information. They are considering the mailers, they are considering the retail outlets, they are considering all the other factors put together, the projections, because even if the rain came now, we shall not harvest until maybe way after August, and we shall be able to give the nation a very comprehensive report within a short time.
I was giving Eric fairly enough time so that he can bring people up to speed before the other panelists interrogate with this. And I'll start with you, Mheshimiwa Ochilo Ayago. Is the government handling this appropriately, or is the opposition seeing an opportunity to campaign?
Let me say this. We citizens who are not in charge of anything, who want affordable food items, do not want to know many details that Eric is talking about. We want affordable food, we want plenty of it, because the right to be well fed is a security issue. Actually, you become very despondent, you become very dangerous if you are hungry. You might have to scale somebody's wall and steal something from there, and you become less
not because you want, but because you
of necessity. You can actually become a very dangerous person, and worse still, you become unproductive. You also become unhealthy. So everything starts with food. Everything is about food, and sufficient food in good quantity and nutritious. Eric has pointed out that there was a drought in East Africa and in South Africa. I happen to come from within the neighborhoods of Uganda and Tanzania. I recently read in the newspapers, and I stand to be corrected, that food is cheaper in Tanzania and in Uganda. I do not know what magic is happening there, and I don't want to know. But if it's cheap in Uganda and Tanzania,
where there was drought,
why isn't it cheap in Kenya? That's why we have government. I want a situation where these skyrocketing prices of food becomes a political agenda. When there is a competition for how to solve it, that's when solutions come. let the politicians who are seeking national office tell us how they want to solve it. Those in office should tell us how they want to fix it. Those who want to come into office should also tell us how they want to fix it, and we vote on it. It's an opportunity. We do not want people to talk about non-important things, non-important issues. Food is the most important thing. Actually, it is everything. It is security, it is health, it is production, it is resources. So
Deputy Governor, Eric says something that Mheshimiwa Chilo does not agree with. Kenyans don't want to know what you're doing. Kenyans want food prices down, period.
A hungry man is an angry man, and that will always remain. And we need to look at what causes these food challenges. Is our reliance to rain-fed agriculture or rain-fed economy. And the solution lies between us to look at what would be the long-term solution to this. And the Jubilee government, you'll remember, had tried to do the Garana Kuraru project, where it was looking at how best would you harvest storm water and all that, so that even in drought-stricken situations, you still have agriculture ongoing. And if you remember, this culminates in a project like the one in Muranga of the Northern Corrector Tunnel. We are saying harvest storm water. But everybody downstream was saying, if you harvest storm water from Muranga, which is to the Aberdares, everybody downstream will suffer. But it's the same water that goes down and kills people in Mombasa. So I think it's looking at situations of how best do situations need to be addressed. And if we did harvest the storm water, store it somewhere, then we'll be in a position that during the drought period we still continue with farming. And I think the solution lies within us. Let's harvest storm water, let's harvest rains, and then we get water that can be used in the drought spell. Food will always be an issue. And in this situation, it's a little unfortunate that it is being used for politicking. Ugali will always be a politic issue as long as it's not enough. If everybody has enough food on the table, then it doesn't become a subject of discussion. But what we all need to do is agree amongst ourselves. If, for example, the opposition gets to power and there is a drought, how will they address the food prices? It will also happen that they will have that challenge. So this time it will be used for politics, but it can happen to anybody in power. So we need to look at long-term solutions to address that situation. And it is amongst all of us to look at how best do we sort out.
Senator Mutula Kilonzo Jr., is it a real issue or it's just a situation? Is it worthy of being politicized, the food situation in the country?
Hunger is politics. People are hungry and they will politicize everything. And I want to agree with Mheshimiwa Wachila Yako. For the common man and common woman and Mama Mudeu, Wanjiko, the details are not relevant. They are not interested. They're just interested in, as he said, hand to mouth. They want to go to work and they want to eat. The reasons why we elect governments so that they can give us security. Security in all forms. We want to have them to cushion us. We pay taxes faithfully so that government can take care of us. We don't pay taxes and elect government so that they can give excuses and give timelines and give programs. But there's a larger problem. As I said, this country has got a problem about knee-jerk reactions, as Mheshimiwa Chila Yako is talking about. We're going to have a knee-jerk reaction about this, and then a knee-jerk reaction about something else. Eric Raive mentioned here, and I like calling him Mheshimiwa Honorable, because it's the title of a government spokesman. Strategic Grain Reserve, National Cereals and Produce Board. For the longest time, we were in school, we heard about the National Cereals and Produce Board. There was just
there was one called maize control.
Maize control. Sometime last year there was a maize glut, a problem in Rift Valley about them not accepting maize because their storage is full. The government is not communicating on the strategic grain reserve. How does it? Is it that now we are stuck in a rut where you have to import maize? And since we do not trust government, it is also possible that this is deliberate so that somebody can import maize. Do you remember the maize scandal in the Grand Coalition government? These things keep repeating themselves from government to government. In the next one, there will be another issue about maize. Thirdly, as Senate and county governments requested the national government to allow them, because agriculture is a devolved function entirely. They requested that they should be allowed those facilities to store grains. The national government flatly refused. Although we agreed that they should be given that facility because it's a devolved function, national government has withheld that function and continuously budgeted for that function. Yet, it is a devolved function. They are not offering any services at that county level.
But Senator, don't you think that was in good faith, considering what you said at the beginning, that food is an issue of security, security is a function of the national government?
No. I'm not talking about security.
Then we producing
about
the
criminals. I'm saying agriculture is a devolved function. This gentleman is elected by those people that the national government is taking care of. The budgets are done at national level. The function is what they are simply asking. Can you allow us access to store, buy and store? Do you know what is happening to those silos? The people who came and appeared before us have told us that the national government has allowed our silos to be given to private entrepreneurs. At entrepreneur issue, it's not being managed by government. It's being managed by fat cats, people who have leased these premises, and therefore you then have a problem. We should not end up in this problem year in, year out. 30 tons of maize, you don't know what is happening. This gentleman spends a lot of time on TV explaining to us about a ship coming from some place in Mexico, and then somebody says in 2 months the price will not come down. What is supposed to happen between now
and the 2 months?
And the 2 months.
Let me clarify that.
Let me say this. When we believe in the millers are holding the commodity called maize.
Is the fact.
In the pretext that they want to tell the common mwananchi that prices can't come down.
So you're saying they're holding this?
Yes.
They're doing an illegality?
Yes.
Yet they're licensed by the government?
Because when everybody says the silos are full, and you cannot stock any more maize. Where is this maize? So there is holding of maize for people to anticipate to trade. So I think we need to find out a very clear way where, if the silos are full, who is holding this maize? The millers are saying the prices can't come down. The government is emphatically trying to say prices can't come down. I think it's a clear way to find out who is holding maize. And it should not be used for trading so that people gain out of it. Don't trade with hunger. For the millers of this country, they need to make sure that they are also patriotic Kenyans and say, let's not hold maize.
Who should reign on millers who hoard this precious commodity?
It's a free trading economy, so
that is why it has to be this should be a political issue in this election. Who has the best program to provide short-term and long-term solution to these skyrocketing food prices? And I think all politics is about food. Hunger for health, hunger for actual food, hunger for all these things.
Hunger for security.
Yes. So this is a program that the electorate should look at very keenly. The opposition may talk about it negatively, but what's the solution? The government may say they are fixing it. Are they fixing it? So that when you go out to vote there, vote for who is providing solutions, both short-term and long-term.
Eric, as you take this away, and we sum it up because we are about to take another commercial break, tell me about what they have said. They are in agreement that what the common mwananchi needs is food prices to come down, not your timelines, not your programs, not about the ship from Mexico.
That is very accurate, and I can only agree with that. But there is two things I want to clarify very clearly. The teams sitting down to look for solutions in these matters do not belong to political parties. We are under the leadership of the Jubilee administration, but the technical people sitting down to craft solutions, to project and to plan are not politicians. They don't belong to ODM, they don't belong to WIPA, they don't belong to any political party. These are experts who want to serve Kenya until they are 60 and they retire. The second thing I would want to clarify is the government is aware of the temptation to hold by businessmen in the retail chain, along the value chain, by those the farmers, and by others, of course, the mailers. And I don't want to preempt anything, but I know that is one factor being looked at, and a solution must be found. That is why previously I said very clearly that in the government we don't believe in these 60 days. The next thing I would want to clarify, because I have sat in these meetings throughout, we were sitting every Monday, and we have been sitting with the donors, the World Food Program. You know, when you are asking the European Union to assist you to spend their taxpayers' money on these projects, they must look at what we have. The impression that our silos are overflowing is wrong. Parliament has every authority to go and inspect in it. Mheshimiwa, I can even coordinate that, but I know you have enough system to do that. Just go and inspect and let Kenyans see, apart from politics, which is this silo which is overflowing. Because I know mainly the government has been looking very keenly at that, especially for the arid and semi-arid areas.
Was there a time when CPB said we have enough?
No, yes, they did.
There is a time, I think,
last year.
Last year.
Yes.
Okay, I'll counter check that. But I know that whatever there is being released in a very careful manner, and I still insist, especially to the arid areas. I would want also to inform him that the Galana Kulalo project is still it's still working. There are experts there working throughout. In part, engineer Odwer is in charge. You know, just to clarify things for Kenyans. It is only that the impression was created that you will convert Galana Kulalo into maize production in 2 or 3 years. It doesn't. I think
actually the message that went out there was that the government is going to put 1 million acres of land on maize production. Where the government failed to communicate is that this is a progressive action.
Yes, even if you think about it from a very simple perspective, putting 1 million acres of arid land into maize production cannot be an issue of switching the button. But these are something in progress, and I have gone there myself twice. I have seen what they are harvesting, and I can tell Kenyans I am very, very hopeful on Galana Kulalo. It's a promise Kenyans need to redeem, because there is good land. A few patches, as they continue experimenting and working on the land, have been proven not to be very good for maize. There are areas which the soil will require supplements to be able to produce maize. Like any other crop, there is a lot scientists will have to do so that we have 1 million acres under production. That one can be borne out by
there is a question in Rift Valley. There is a question in Rift Valley. If you look at the schism between KANU and Jubilee in Rift Valley, it's about how they are treating farmers. Farmers in Rift Valley are saying that they are about to ditch Jubilee because they are not getting paid for producing maize and other related crops. We are focusing on Kulalu. You know, farming is a way of self-employment. So this idea of trying to think that Kulalu is Galana Kulalu is the silver bullet we are waiting for, maybe another thing. I think there is something somebody needs to focus on very seriously, and that is why this program of fixing, giving a long-term solution to it, should be scrutinized by people who want leadership. You should not just want leadership because you want to have big cars and big planes, and you should not just want to throw out people because you want the same. Food is a very serious thing. It is the thing that if you do not have, you are in big trouble. So
the French Revolution was because of it.
And that is why the government is running the midnight oil to ensure that there is affordable maize flour on the desk of shops in Kenya.
There was never to be expectations that the 1 million acres would come overnight. However, it is in the right way to look at issues. Galana Kulalu will come through, but not the total 1 million acres. And I think
at one go.
Yes, not at one go. And a maize season is about 5-6 months. So I think what we should all anticipate is that we start progressively seeing results from Galana Kulalu, so that we all say, yes, it is happening. The food basket of the Rift Valley is where we now need to focus on to see is the maize production in Trans Nzoia and Uasin Gishu helping this country? Then we need to go further and see how do you translate not only subsistence farming but macro production of food to the country. If you don't look at that, then we'll remain in central subsistence farmers that you harvest all that you can eat in your homestead. But then we need to say, where is the long-term solution? And the government will have then to do the Garanakuraru, see whether the other
as a long-term solution.
As a long-term solution. The short-term solution is let's harvest what we can and sparingly also have it.
I want us to take a commercial break. You have not said anything about this.
Yes,
just a quick one.
Solution. We must make maize production for private entrepreneurs profitable. And that is one of the gaps that the government has allowed. And I said deliberately, because when the farmers do their calculations in Rift Valley and the breadbasket of this republic, when they do their maths about the fertilizers, and then the prices offered by government, they would rather sell that maize to private enterprise. And that is where the gap is. And that is where the government has failed. There's no government in the world that does business. The governments in the world provide a conducive environment for people to trade. This idea that government is the one that is going to plant maize in Galalu Kulana project, it's just, what do you call it, euphemism for corruption. It's an attempt to do corruption. Because when they package the message to Kenyans were not told, but they will wait for 10 years. We're going to plant this progressively. But Kenyans were expecting that by the time Jubilee government will be coming to the end of its first term, will be telling you we have harvested 1 million bags, etc., etc. Those sort of things. But I've said it's not what they were doing. Is that the people who have two harvests in a year. In Ukambani we do 1. In Rift Valley they do 2.
Central is 2.
And Central is 2. Those people will plant maize more if they realize that they can get 4,000 shillings for a bag. What are they getting now? 2,000. Even I have stopped planting maize because it's not profitable.
Now we are looking at a situation where Eric, with all due respect and really understanding you, the middle class Kenyan and the upper class Kenyan understand you perfectly well. But the common Mwananchi who is now watching the government speaking through Eric, right, they want to know when is the price of maize coming down, period, without any further explanation. Then we take a commercial break.
Well, with the government has taken policy as well as in terms of budget, as he is saying, and the government has also done interventionist measures by ensuring that there is greater supply in the market. What brings down prices, that is what I'm telling the ordinary Kenyan, is when there is adequate supply. What Honorable Mutula might have forgotten is that there are dynamics. He wants to produce maize, he has stopped unfortunately, and sell it for 4,000 a bag. When in Tanzania, Chaga, who are also Kambas anyway, are producing.
No, Chagas are not Kambas.
Actually Masai.
They are actually Masai. There are some other guys who are actually Kambas, who are selling maize, are producing maize and selling it at 2,000 shillings. What I am telling Kenyans is that given the situation, given the scarcity, the government has done, and it is doing more, and we are projecting that within the next about less than 30 days we shall be having about 115 shillings or about there. But let us give it time, given all the dynamics which have been exposed here very well, people holding, others becoming a little bit cunning. We shall do that. One thing I would want to be very emphatic about is that the farmer in Rift Valley is a jewel for this country. Na serikali inadhamini sana wakulima walioko Rift Valley,
and they must be treated
ambao wanalisha nchi hii, na wengi wao wanaelewa hiyo.
Bei ya unga boss.
Bei ya unga itashuka, na serikali inafanya juhudi kubwa sana kuhakikisha kwamba imeshuka, ingawa kuna watu wajanja hapa na pale. Kuna mahindi serikali inaleta pia, kuna supplementary budget itapelekwa ndiposa pesa kidogo ziwachiliwe ziende pande hiyo.
ndio ziangalie kwa bei, na pia wanabiashara wamekubaliwa kuleta mahindi kutoka pahali popote duniani ambapo bei ni ya chini, kuhakikisha kwamba kuna mahindi ya kutosha sokoni. Ukiwa na bidhaa yoyote ikiadimika, bei huenda juu. Ikiletwa kwa wingi, bei ushuka. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia bei lazima itashuka, kwa sababu hiyo mikakati inaendelea na serikali imejitolea kabisa.
Na serikali inaahidi ya kwamba katika siku 30 zijazo bei ya unga itarudi chini. Itakuwa kati ya shilingi 115 na 120. Anavyosema msemaji wa serikali.
Lile ndilo lengo. Lakini tukiwa na watu wengine wako upinzani hapa na pale, kumbuka kwamba
ni lengo.
Wacha tuhakikishe kitu moja. Wacha tufafanue kitu moja. Pia wale wanabiashara wengine wao wako katika upinzani. Kwa hivyo pengine ndio wanapandisha bei, lakini sitaki kuingia maneno ya upinzani na serikali. Wale watu tunaofanyia serikali kazi, ukienda katika lile jopo limeketi saa hii na under the chairmanship of the head of civil service Mr. Kinyua, kusema ukweli hakuna mwanachama wa chama chochote. Wale ni Wakenya ambao wako na mama, wako na watoto, wako na mandugu ambao, na pia ambao wananunua ule unga kama mimi. Kwa hiyo bei ya wanaite na ambayo inaumiza sana, kwa sababu kama mnavyojua mishahara ya serikali ni midogo.
Lakini wewe unaweza garamia. We take a short commercial break. We'll be right back after this. My panelists, Ochilo Ayako, Mheshimiwa Gakure Monyo, Deputy Governor Murang'a County, Eric Raide, government spokesman. The government promising price of maize flour will be coming down in 30 days.
Working on it.
And of course Senator Mutula Kilonzo, right back after this.